S asks, ever felt like you don't have the solution for someone's problem? What to do in this case? And how do you avoid the feeling of helplessness? I feel helpless all the time as a practicing clinical psychologist. So number one is burnout. This is when I'm really struggling to deal with the daily stressors that are coming up in my life, or something's happening at work that is requiring a lot more attention from me. How do I deal with it? It's about personal self-care. I made a whole video about that. A lot of it comes down to making sure I'm sleeping well, eating well, connecting with my colleagues, getting help from colleagues, friends, and family. I also feel helpless when I just don't know how to help someone. Something I've had to figure out as a psychologist is what am I really good at treating? What can I treat with help? And what do I need to refer to another colleague of mine? Another situation where I feel helpless is when I'm working with someone and they might be ambivalent about the problem they're in for. Ambivalent in the truest sense. They're very torn. They want to change this thing that they're struggling with, and at the same time, they don't, or there are important reasons why they might want to keep things the way they are. How do I deal with that? Well, there's this thing called motivational interviewing, which is all about how to help people be a little bit more open to talking about what are the barriers to change and helping them to move towards engaging in more change talk. We might ask someone who is smoking and a bit ambivalent about it, what are the benefits to smoking? And really understand what are the factors that are contributing to them wanting to keep the situation the same. And then we'll also ask, what are the less beneficial things for you about smoking? We don't ask what the cons are or what they don't like about it, but what are less beneficial to them. That'll help us to understand what are the things that do push them towards wanting to change. Something else that makes me feel helpless is if I provide a treatment that someone needs, and for whatever reason, they can't afford it, they can't get to the treatment, maybe they live too far away, their insurance won't cover it. I hate this. I hate this situation. It's one of the worst things about my job. What do I do in these situations? Try to find someone closer to that person, try to find a more affordable treatment. Sometimes I might refer people to training clinics where they'll work with graduate students who they'll see for a much lower fee but still provide a high quality of care. Sometimes I might refer someone to an online treatment or a support group or maybe even an app or a self-help book that might be pretty good and help that person move a little bit forward in terms of what their goals are. Then there's a situation where I did everything I could and the problem just wasn't resolved, the goals weren't met, something like that. And here I tried to do a little bit of a reflection. What went wrong? Was I able to provide the best care possible that I know of? And also, what have I learned from this situation? When I was right out of grad school, I started judging how I was doing as a psychologist based on how the people I was working with were doing, and that wasn't really a healthy way to judge my progress. Now what I try to do is look back to see, did I provide the best care that I know of, that exists in the research, and that I can practically implement? And if not, what got in the way? What can I learn so I can do that better next time? Thanks again to S for submitting this question, and I'd love to answer your question about psychology, mental health, and life as a psychologist. So if you have a question, leave it in the comments below or post it on social media with hashtag #ThePsychShowQA. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That's going to help more people to discover it. And if you want to see more fun, easy to understand videos about psychology, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching.